Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. I'm Nai.
I'm Mako. We're going to take another whack at the jungle slider.
There's going to be a lot of whack to the jungle slider, but got at least 2 more to go. This one is to fix the 4th track, which unfortunately I completely failed last episode, because I missed 2 of them while I was talking about some that we had to line up for that were trying to trick us. So they tricked me anyways. Jungle Slider isn't that bad of a minigame. It's a little bit tedious, I find. Just having to do it over and over and over. I don't know why they have you redo the same tracks kind of over and over.
That's one thing that Kingdom Hearts 2 did learn.
Yeah, but Kingdom Hearts makes you kind of do this shit anyways, you know? Like, I think it's a problem with a lot of video games in general. I was watching another YouTuber today, and he was playing... Now, keep in mind, these were custom levels. These weren't levels designed by the original creator of the game. But he was playing a platformer that had custom levels in it, and he was playing one level that really annoyed the hell out of him, because it was, each level was designed to make you have to deal with certain, and use certain strategies that are prevalent and useful in the main game.
Mm-hmm. And
he's really good at the main game. But the problem he was running into is that as he played, he would get through one section, do really well there, and then he'd get up to a section he'd have trouble with, and he'd lose there, he would die there, and he would have to turn around and then redo all the sections he had become proficient with over and over and over. And, it's a pretty common thing, unfortunately. I don't know why it is so common for games to be, for games to feel that, let's waste their time and make them redo all this over and over and over. Just plain padding. Okay. There's the 2 that I missed. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. See, getting those should clear this obstruction and let me go through. Because I have now shown that I can, do it. That's what that should do. It shouldn't make me have to walk all the way back to a save point, teleport up to the tunnel, and then redo the entire thing. That's what I have to do, but it shouldn't do it. I don't know. I mean, is that a thing that we should be accepting in games? That the artificial padding of, hey, let's do this again?
Not really. But we don't necessarily get a choice.
Of course we do. You don't have to play the game. There's some games I kind of refuse to play because of that whole problem. Because they say, whoop, artificial padding, let's go. Now, you could, I think, successfully argue... Oh. I was wondering why I wasn't attacking. You could argue that stuff like this, where I'm having to sit here and do these fights over and over and over, which is basically me just mashing the X button. You could say that this is also artificial padding, and you wouldn't be wrong, either. So that's something to think about. On the other hand, I'm going to say to you the reason I'm doing it is to level Donald up. And then your response to me could be, if you said this, I wouldn't disagree with you. If you told me that, well, RPGs are by nature special padding, I'd have a hard time disagreeing with you. Also, did you notice that Ragnarok is an action command? Did you see that?
Yes, I forget how it's supposed to work now.
I mean, that's kind of interesting.
I remember that it eats a ton of MP, but it pretty much kills anything in the area.
Yeah. Well, now I'm kind of curious. I need to go figure out how, what's it called works, because, Strike Raid works. Because if Strike Raid has the same problem, and that it's an action command, I don't get to choose when to use it, that's going to cause some problems for me on a couple of future boss fights where it's part of my main strategy for survival. I really hope it doesn't have that problem. You know what? Let's use Ragnarok. Why not? Okay, or don't let me have the option. Ragnarok.
You have to be near your party members to do that.
Ragnarok is not a party member thing. It's not that type of attack.
Also, you have to be on the ground to use it.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Got a shiny crystal. And the good part about all this, as I said when we started doing this backtracking, is that we're going to be getting a ton of craftables. Which is definitely going to help me in my synthesis. Only to a certain extent, unfortunately. You know. There's going to be a lot of synthesis materials that I'm going to have to just grind like hell for.
Well, take what you can get.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing, certainly. This is definitely going to be helping me out. But, you know, there's going to be mystery goos that I'm going to have to go and actually grind for.
Those you'll have to definitely grind for.
Yeah, those I'll have to grind for. And there's going to be, you know, various crystals and stuff that I'm going to have to go find elsewhere. There's definitely going to be a lot of that. Okay. Back to normal drive, into deep jungle. We're not doing that bad. And the good news about this, I think, is that, unfortunately, Agrabah is kind of a big area. Halloween Town, not really. Monstro, there's not very much we have to actually do in Monstro. And then, Neverland's actually a very small area. So it shouldn't be too hard for us to finish off those areas completely.
Fortunately.
Yep. Okay. I love how... I will say that apart from the whole padding in terms of making me redo this all the time, I do like that the game at least tried to go, you know, okay, yes, this is padding, but you can... You know, let's treat it like an actual outright minigame. So there is a timer, and you can see if you can best your own times and stuff like that. And this actually does help you in a gameplay-related sense because you get such and such an item out of it. So they made it pseudo-mandatory, but they didn't make it too painful, I guess. I don't know, there's going to be people that disagree with me. So I know that a lot of the Kingdom Hearts mini-games get ire from people.
For good reason.
Yeah. I mean, as I've stated a couple times, I dislike Kingdom Hearts 1's gummy ship missions. They've been made a little bit better in 2. In Final Mix, I'm gonna say that with the inclusion of a points-based system, so it actually feels more like a game. With the inclusion of you know, unlocks and missions, it feels better. It's not Kingdom Hearts 2's gummy missions by any stretch of the imagination, because those, I think, are just amazing. But, you know, they tried. Okay. So we got 30 of 30. Now, if I remember correctly, the very last trunk slide is possibly the most obnoxious. So I gotta be very careful when I'm on the last one to make sure I get everything. Say 1, 2, 3, smack, 1. It's 4. And the next 2 are gonna be on the right-hand side. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Stick to the left. And into the final section we go. And there's no prizes for first place in this one. This one, just get all the crap. You notice I just glide over the gaps? Okay, we're done. Got our power up. And now I can speed. That's it. That is all of the trunk sliding things. I did not get a dark matter.
But you did get your power up?
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah. I hope I don't need that dark matter. Sora, do you have any abilities that you can equip right now? We're gonna get rid of Ragnarok. Gonna equip Second Chance, definitely. Get that re-equipped. Probably do Berserk, I think, for now. I eventually want to get Strike Raid going, but I'm more willing to have Second Chance going. We're gonna want that later on. Okay. Let us leave. Let us fight, and then we'll leave.
You got the White Trinity in the,
Yeah, that was an Orichalcum. I'm curious, do you have any idea what the origin of that is? That particular word, that being
Orichalcum?
that being kind of a legendary ingredient?
I don't know, but I can look it up.
Just kind of curious. Because it shows up in all kinds of different games, with all kinds of different names.
Orichalcum is the one that's most normal. That's most commonly,
Yeah. Like, for instance, one of my favorite RPGs, Golden Sun uses it. But theirs is Orichalcum. Or something similar.
Orichalcum. Or Orichalcum or Orichalcum. It seems to have a lot of, variations.
Just really curious, because a lot of these things share with each other. And by
derives
share, I mean
from a Greek
ruthless steel.
term meaning literally mountain copper or copper mountain. The Romans transliterated it to orichalcum, which translates roughly to gold copper. It's held to be variously been held to be a gold/copper alloy, a copper tin, or copper zinc brass, or a metal no longer known.
So supposedly this actually existed. Neat.
Yes, well, supposedly.
Yeah.
In later years, orichalcum was used to describe the sulfide mineral calciprite, and used to describe brass. These usages are definitely difficult to reconcile with the text of Critias.
We learned a new skill called Hurricane Blast. Kind of curious what that is. But with the insane experience gain that we're getting here.
Now the thing is, orichalcum is believed to have existed because its name crops up in a bunch of old documents, like old ancient Greek documents.
Interesting.
And supposedly, it was minted in Atlantis, or so the things claimed.
Oh, okay. Well, it's one of those then.
Yeah, but it has actually shown up in like actual literature.
Well,
so
has Atlantis.
Yes.
Hurricane Blast from an arrow combo and inflation.
Huh. Okay, that's.
Let's go ahead and see if I can find a way to equip that. What can I get rid of?
Yeah, sourcing on that before I start commenting on that. Hello. That could actually be very interesting. If that's true.
Hurricane Blast is apparently an aerial finisher of some sort.
Okay, sorry. I'm just.
Okay, there's some red mushrooms, but we don't really care about them. So we're gonna leave, and we'll move on.
Huh.
Let's go ahead and save real quick, because it's been a while since I last saved. In fact, I think it might have been before Maleficent. Yes, it was before Maleficent.
Interesting. This is relatively new, and I don't know if it's true.
Okay.
But pulling it off of a couple different websites that specialize in archaeological news say that early this year, and that's like, it is, for reference, like we're recording this roughly the end of January 2015. According to this, roughly around the beginning of January 2015, they recovered a number of minted ingots from a ship, ancient Greek ship that sank. Oh God, like 2,500 years ago. And they're attributing those to be the so-called orichalcum, which is a mixture of about copper, zinc, and smaller percentages of nickel, lead, and iron.
Interesting. That's pretty neat. Okay.
So how true it is, I don't know, but it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So we're now in Agrabah, and there are things we need to be careful of in Agrabah. So Specifically, if Carpet asks us to go anywhere, we say no and run away. Oh, you know why. There's no way we're prepared for that right now.
Of course not.
Let's go ahead and fight our way through these, because all of these enemies have drops I need. And then we just need to kind of explore around each of these zones, because there's going to be areas we could not reach earlier because we did not have high jump last time we were here. So there's some places that we need to go. For example, here. Actually, this is just Aladdin's house. Okay, so here's Carpet. You notice that Carpet's going nuts. If you ride on the carpet, you're gonna have a bad time. I mean, just, that's...
You're being given a
ready for that.
warning for a reason.
Yeah. That's the game going. By the way, you know, stuff's gonna happen if you take this offer. Okay, we'll just drop down here. We'll fight down here. I love that the pot spiders are still not worth any experience whatsoever. We got soldiers that are worth 108. Pot spiders are worth 36. The game's really letting you know what is worth your time fighting and what isn't. What interests me is that soldiers are worth 108. Dark balls are only worth 72. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Okay, we want to go over to that treasure chest, which we technically would have been able to actually access on an earlier time frame, but just let that fall down there. I'll walk over here while they finish him off. Excellent. And here, a cottage. Well, that was interesting. Let's go. I'm just gonna ignore this fight because I don't really care about this right now. Let's go into the alley. Right now, we're just searching for items. We're searching for collectibles, and we're searching for just any. Goofy just learned treasure magnet. We're searching for any of the trinities that I may not have hit already. Donald just got, I think that's his second MP Rage. So we definitely want to get that on him. People are going to be leveling up pretty fast right now, which is awesome. We want them to level up this fast. This is great. Let's see. Donald. Yeah, it's his second MP Rage. Let's go ahead and remove Second Wind. Actually, let's remove Leaf Bracer, because I want Second Wind. And we'll give him Treasure Magnet so he can get some of the health back. Goofy has 2 points. We want him to have MP Haste. So let's go ahead and drop Rocket. He'll have him have MP Haste. He gets MP back faster. He gets MP from hitting things. Gets MP from being hit. And he donates that MP right back to us.
Yay, MP! Something you can never have enough of.
Yeah, I mean, Goofy is kind of ridiculous. Right now when it comes to just the sheer ability he has to be awesome.
He is an angry little murder machine.
He really is. And he's an enabler. That's what he really is. He makes it so you can do stupid things too. Okay, is there anything up here? No, that's the edge of the level. Okay. Oh, someone dropped something. Okay, I think we've gotten... It looks like we've gotten almost everything in the main areas of Agrabah, like the actual city proper. So now we need to start looking at, we need to start going to the Cave of Wonders. But I actually need to make sure that I'm, exploring the entirety of Agrabah, because there are areas that you, there's other areas of Agrabah, basically. I need to make sure I hit everything. Okay. You die. The large bodies are actually becoming a bit of a threat right now. One just almost wrecked Goofy just now, actually. Actually, almost nothing. It did wreck Goofy.
They pack a nasty punch. They always did.
They really do, yeah.
That's the thing, like, the enemies, they don't necessarily change in makeup, but
their stats get massively buffed.
Their stats go up as time goes on.
And in some cases, it's a pretty massive upgrade, too. The large bodies, for example, they're pretty incredible. Things are going to get a little bit worse when we go into Cave of Wonders, too, because there's a lot of enemies there. Again, luckily, we do have a lot of new skills. We can fly. We have high jump. All of this is definitely going to help. But, it's going to be a thing in there. Donald, did you have to cast stop? Was that truly necessary? Okay, so we want to go now. And we return again. Didn't miss much. I was going to the bazaar because I remember there's a Trinity mark here, and I can't remember if I actually got it. There's also a keyhole up there, which may or may not be important. It may be something I've already triggered, it may not be, and I know there's at least one gate around the front entrance that is not open. That may be this keyhole. Looks like I did get the Trinity mark here, though. But I think I know where the White Trinity is for Agrippa. I believe it's in the treasure chamber of Cave of Wonders. I think. Not 100% sure, but I think that's where it is.
You don't sound so sure.
Well, we haven't been here in a while. And I wasn't exactly looking out for White Trinities on as we were exploring. And going through other areas. Okay, there's the Dark Ball. Thank you, Donald. We also have to do Atlantis. But kind of the further we go on in these areas, the less we're going to have to do, because we had more skills when we were last here. Okay, do I have to activate this, or am I done? Nope, I already activated that.
You activated that long ago.
Well, I got to make sure, because as I said, there is one door. It's in the like first area you go in. There's a door that is not open. And I don't know why it's not open. See, like, that gate right there is not open? I'm kind of curious if it's because is there a keyhole that I didn't open somewhere? That's what we're looking for. God, we're spending like half this episode in this just in the city. We haven't even gotten to the other areas. Okay, there's a treasure chest that I had not opened yet, but someone's going to stop me from being here. I think I took out 2 soldiers with that attack. Anybody else? No? Okay. Building up some truly prodigious amounts of money, too. There's some mithril. Nope, let me down.
Unfortunately, the number of things you can spend your money on is limited. There are a few things you can use it on that's quite useful, but,
well, Donald probably needs another weapon.
And you can use them to keep well stocked on high potions and the like, but...
Yeah, you can't get any of the really good potions, unfortunately.
Best of the best you have to make.
Yeah.
And that requires shards. Which is
stuff like elixirs.
Which is a hole in the bucket problem.
Got knocked down. Don't lock onto that, please. I don't care about that. Okay, let's get over here. Yeah, there's a reason why I'm not using elixirs at all. Because they are precious and hard to come by. Another treasure chest. Dark matter. We've been here, right? Yeah, that's the alley. Okay, last place we need to go look real quick is the palace gates. This is the last, like, regular zone, and then we start looking into the Cave of Wonders. Which may end up, I don't think we're gonna get done with the Cave of Wonders this episode. Just because there's so much to do there. Yeah, we got a lot to do. It looks like, in fact, there's some things I didn't do in this zone because of the whole pot centipede boss. So
right.
I'm looking at a couple of treasure chests that, I wouldn't have gotten because of that. Because after you deal with pot centipede, you basically just leave the city almost immediately. Okay.
same can be said for a lot of areas in this game, actually.
That as soon as you defeat a boss, you leave?
Hmm.
Yeah. That is a very true statement. Don't go nuts, please. Do anything but that. God, they're spawning more enemies! This is almost Wonderland spawn level. I mean, this was a boss area, so I guess that has something to do with it, but... Okay, got a max HP upgrade for me. That's great. Okay. Upwards. Hot spiders. No big deal. Easy kills. Okay. For Terra Chain, would have been good a long time ago. Now it's kind of worthless. This we could get till high jump. Puppies. Very important. There's a high level chest. Osmos G. Of course, it had to be a gummy ship piece. I think this goes right back to the main street. Okay. We are done with the main areas. Let's go into Aladdin's house real quick and save, and then we'll head over to the Cave of Wonders. Gives a chance to get some health back, too, because we're starting to need it. Now, the Cave of Wonders, hopefully I won't, but there's a chance I may actually need Aladdin in there. In case there were any, like, activated switches that we didn't get when we were in there last. I want to say we got everything. But,
I'm 90% sure we didn't, because you refused to use Aladdin, regardless of what he...
Yeah, but
I
swapped him out a lot. Like, I don't know if you recall, but I swapped Aladdin in a lot more than I actually wanted to.
Which was still a lot less than you probably needed him for, though, so...
True. Okay. So Carpet is not taking me to the Place of Fright. He's taking me to the Cave of Wonders. Now, was there a Trinity Mark outside the Cave of Wonders? Got some fat bandits. They should not be identified by their size.
They should be identified by the fact that they are, in fact, breathing fire and murdering you?
So should we call them the halitosis bandits instead? We could go...
All I'm saying is, if the breath mint fits...
Yeah. Well, we could always go in the, we could always go in the Home Alone direction and call them the, you know, the fiery bandits. The burning bandits. The third-degree burn bandits. Okay, it looks like there are no Trinity marks out here.
I can't think of Home Alone without thinking of, like, a very specific Home Alone video, the only good Home Alone video game, and yet nobody seems to know it exists.
Good Home Alone video game? What?
Yes, there actually was a good Home Alone video game.
I don't believe you.
It was for the Genesis.
Oh, right, that system I didn't ever have.
It was the idea. It was interesting because you had a lot of things that were very new for its time. You had all the a bunch of houses in the neighborhood and an overhead map that you rode around on, and you got to see where the bandits were going.
White Trinity mark.
And that's a scan.
And that will give us an Ifrit belt.
Nice.
That, I think, is actually good. Fire damage increases strength by a fair bit. Lose 3 max. Nah. Okay, time to explore.
Anyway, the idea was that you instead of having like a set, your goal was basically survive for a fixed amount of time until the cops arrive. And the whole gimmick of the game was you went around the houses and you found things lying around, and then you combined them together to make different weapons.
So what you're telling me is you were playing Dead Rising 2.
Dead Rising 2, pretty much, yeah. And it was fun because the different pieces, like the different parts you used, could be used to make different. Could be the same set of parts could be used to make 2 different weapons.
Okay.
depending on the kind of ammunition you wanted to use, the kind of payload you were trying to develop to use.
There's a mithril. Okay, so we're down here. Let's just see something real quick. See, like, I activated that statue. Let's explore the dark chamber real quick. Just see, is there anything we didn't do when we were here last? It's just the water section. It's the upstairs section, I think, is going to have the majority of the stuff I didn't do, because the water sections are pretty straightforwards. Let's see. The question is if any of them have, like, something I couldn't access for some reason. Because of not having flight. Okay, this is where we started. Okay, let's go back to the dark chamber. We're probably going to go hit that save point in just a second, and then that will be the end of this episode. Okay. Okay, guys, when I see you guys next time, Mako will finish their story, and we will continue exploring. We'll see you soon.